Boss, every time I hold up topsoil in my hand, I think about how life begins with something so simple. This thin layer of organic matter, without it, most plants wouldn't stand a chance.
Wow. Topsoil really is the unsung hero of the ecosystem. However, I always remind people that soil starts with rocks breaking down over time. It's fascinating how weathering and erosion shape the Earth's surface and feed the soil.
That's true. Without weathering, we wouldn't have the sediments that make topsoil. Let's not forget, once we get those sediments, it's the organic matter, decaying leaves, and dead plants that enrich the soil.
Speaking of, what kind of rock would you say has the biggest impact on soil formation? Igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic?
Sedimentary, I say. These organic rocks often form environments rich in organic materials like riverbeds or lakes. So they break down into nutrient rich soil over time. What about you? You're more of an igneous rock fan, right?
Guilty as charged. There's just something about the origin of igneous, the way that they're formed from cooling lava and magma, has always just captured my attention. Take granite for example. This beauty, right in my hand, I'll show right before you guys. It's coarse grained, it's igneous rock, it's packed with minerals, kind of like quartz and feldspar. When it breaks down, it adds great minerals to the soil.
Well, that's true. Granite does leave behind minerals that benefit the soil, but it's a slow process. Igneous rocks takes time to weather. Sedimentary rock, on the other hand, such as this clay, are soft and erode faster, especially in water.
There are three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. These rocks are all formed in different ways. Igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are made from melted rocks and minerals. They form when magma cools down and solidifies. An example of an igneous rock is granite. Sedimentary rocks. These rocks are made from lots of small pieces of material such as small rocks, plant, or animal remains. They are formed from sediment that has settled at the bottom of lakes, seas, and oceans. This sediment has been compressed over time, and the rocks form layers on top of one another. Fossils are mostly found in sedimentary rocks. An example of a sedimentary rock is limestone. Metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are formed when igneous or sedimentary rocks are heated at a high temperature and then compressed under great pressure. The high temperature and pressure causes the rocks to change into other types of rocks. This process takes a very long time. An example of a metamorphic rock is marble. Marble originates from limestone.
Look at this topsoil, subsoil, and bedrock below. The topsoil is the richest layer in nutrients thanks to decaying organic material. Without it, our crops wouldn't have the nutrients they need to grow.
Bedrock is the foundation of absolutely everything. It's that solid layer of rock that eventually weathers down into subsoil, and this will eventually weather down into topsoil.
Sure, but it's the topsoil that does the heavy lifting for life. Subsoil is the most mineral rich, but it lacks organic richness the plants need. The thin layer topsoil might be small, but it's the most critical.
It's interesting that most people don't realize the role that soil plays in their ecosystem, in agriculture, and even the climate. The right type of soil, for an instance, loam, is a perfect soil for growing crops because of its balance of sand, silt, and clay. And they all hold in nutrients well and it drains perfectly.
That's why loam is ideal for plants. Clay holds water well, but it can suffocate roots if it's too compact. And sand drains quickly but doesn't hold nutrients. Loam is the sweet spot.
With this clay pot, I imagine trying to grow crops in this would be like asking plants to grow through concrete. It just ain't gonna work.
Pretty much. Too much clay and you'll get waterlogged roots. But the right mix of loam can make all the difference.
Take this granite for an example. It is an igneous rock, rich in quartz, feldspar, and mica. Over thousands of years, this will break down and contribute minerals to the soil. These minerals, like quartz, don't dissolve easily, so they provide long-lasting structure.
That's true. But not all minerals benefit the soil equally. Take graphite, for example, used in pencils, but not as rich in nutrients as something such as feldspar, which provides potassium. Every mineral plays a different role.
Speaking of minerals, some of them, kind of like diamond, are prized for their hardness. Of course, this doesn't contribute much to soil, but it is a reminder how different minerals serve different purposes. It is one of the most hardest minerals on Earth, whereas talc, which I will show you right here, is actually one of the softest minerals that we know.
Right. It's fascinating that so many minerals have different properties from hardness to cleavage. And what interests me the most is how they weather in time. Feldspar, for instance, breaks down relatively quickly and provides potassium to the soil, while quartz is much more resilient. So, withering and erosion are unsung heroes of soil creation. Without them, we wouldn't have any sedimentary layers that feed into soil formation.
Weathering is essential. Breaking rocks down into smaller pieces is a physical and chemical process. Wind, water, and even temperature changes play a role. Erosion moves those broken pieces, carrying sediments into new places.
That's right. That's how we get those fertile rivers, valleys, full of nutrient rich soils. It's a delicate balance, though. Too much erosion, especially when human activity like deforestation is involved, and we lose that topsoil entirely.
Soil erosion is a huge issue. We're seeing more of it because of construction, agriculture, and deforestation. Once topsoil erodes, it's hard to replace. Planting grass or even trees. Of course, their roots hold the soil together and actually prevent it from washing away. And in a way, it's kind of like an endless cycle that just keeps getting worse.
Mm, it is so interconnected. Protecting the soil means protecting our ability to grow food and sustain ecosystems. And it all comes back to understanding how weathering, erosion, and minerals in the soil contribute to its health.
Rocks and minerals are very important to us. We use rocks to make houses, roads, and to decorate gardens. Different minerals help us in different ways. Iron becomes steel, which we use to make skyscrapers and bridges. Copper is important for making wires for electricity and pipes for water. We get aluminium from a mineral named bauxite and use it to make things like airplanes and computer parts. Some minerals are used in jewellery, like gold and silver. Precious gems, like sapphires and emeralds, are also minerals. Minerals help keep us healthy too. For instance, potassium found in bananas and oranges help our muscles work properly. And a mineral called fluoride, found in rocks and soil, is added to toothpaste to protect our teeth. And that's just scratching the surface. There's so much more to discover about rocks and minerals.
We have something absolutely amazing to show you guys. Right on this table, we have a selection of fossils. This one right here that I'm going to pick up and show you guys. This dinosaur bone was once part of a living creature and was preserved in a sedimentary rock. Fossils tell us about the history of what was before us, the climates, and even evolution.
Fossils are really like time capsules, aren't they? They're usually found in sedimentary rocks, since these rocks are formed in layers, preserving organic material. It's incredible to think how many millions of years go into creating something like this.
Exactly. It is a testament to the power of time itself. Of all the rocks, like metamorphic rocks, that change under heat and pressure on these bones, it is what makes a fossil a fossil. What starts as sedimentary rocks can, over millennia, become something like marble.
And marble, of course, starts as limestone. It's amazing how much transformation can happen beneath Earth's surface. When you think about it, the planet's consistently changing, even if we don't notice it. You know, boss, the more we talk about this, the more I realize how interconnected everything is. Rocks, the minerals, soil, life, it's all a part of a continuous cycle.
Definitely. The Earth is one big ecosystem. Rocks form, weather, and erode soil. Soil supports plant life, which in turn shapes the land. Through it all, minerals cycle through, contributing to everything agriculture to industry.
And then there are fossils, remainders of past lives that give us clues about the planet's history. Every rock, every layer of the soil has a story to tell.
Makes you really appreciate the slow, powerful processes that shape our world. Volcanoes forming igneous rocks, rivers depositing sediment, the heat and the pressure that create metamorphic rocks.
That's a lot to take in, but I love that there's always more to discover, whether it's studying the soil under our feet or rocks beneath that. Earth has countless secrets left to reveal. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.